Hi, this is Mary Ellen Slater, Senior Editor of Smart Brief on Workforce, and I'm here with Jennifer Kahnweiler. Jennifer is an expert on introverts and leadership. Jennifer, tell me a little bit about the difference between introverts and extroverts' leadership styles.
Well, Mary Ellen, introverts and extroverts tend to differ in that introverts process energy within. They're very inner focused. And extroverts make sense of the world by talking about it. So therein lies the clash. They both don't understand each other much of the time, and there creates issues in organizations.
What are some of the biggest challenges that introverts face in furthering their careers?
There are, in general, what happens with introverts, Mary Ellen, is that people exhaustion is a huge challenge, because when you're in an organization, you have to be around people all the time, and so the lack of a chance to retreat and recharge your batteries for introverts can be a real issue. In addition, the undersell for introverts, if there are people that are talking about their accomplishments, like oftentimes the extroverts, then the introverts get sort of overlooked and ignored, and they're even misunderstood because of the fact that they're not necessarily able to, but they don't tend to boast about themselves or talk about themselves as much as some of the others in the company do. So that can be a real career derailer oftentimes. In addition to that as well, there's negative impressions. Introverts told me in my research that I did that they were misunderstood. People thought they were angry when they were really just reflecting about life. And so those kind of disconnects and misperceptions can create a gap between what they intend to put out there and what others in the organizations are seeing. So when opportunities for promotions come up and chances to get cool assignments, for instance, the introverted leaders aren't oftentimes the ones who are thought of as the ones to be put in that position. And that creates an issue for them if they're not able to sort of flex, not become extroverted, but just adapt to what some of the needs are in the company.
What's your practical advice? How do you put that into action?
I have lots of advice that I need to take myself sometimes. Well, one of the things that introverts can do is to, as I say, manage some of the impressions, first of all. I had one woman tell me that she walked down the hallway and she started to make eye contact with people and started to smile a little more, and lo and behold,
Right.
Not only were people responding, but she was starting to get some job opportunities. And she said, I kid you not, I think it had to do with that. So,
Right.
you can relate to that as well.
Right.
That's so those are some things. And I think sometimes introverts can also take the initiative in group settings like meetings. I mean, I think one of the things I found is that introverts, if they spend a little more time on just the soft skills, as we call them, the soft skills really lead to hard results. But if they can spend a little time planning, I found the 4 Ps, planning, preparation, and then pushing themselves and having some presence, being in the moment, doing those kinds of things, particularly on the front end. Excuse me, if you can think about some questions to ask and before a meeting, or plan your statement to come into the meeting the first 5 minutes. That's a practical tip for you there as well. Then it becomes less of a problem later on, and you establish yourself, you put a stake in the ground. So doing those kinds of steps can not change who you are, but you can adapt verbally and non-verbally so that people notice who you are, and your gifts are not overlooked. And so HR managers in particular can start to recommend you. Your boss will notice you more, and you won't be the silent minority, as oftentimes introverts have told me.
As a business leader, as a business owner right now in this
Yes.
climate, as an introverted business leader, no less, what inspires you?
Well, actually, just to clarify that, I am extroverted.
Are you?
And I call myself a champion of introverts. I've lived with one for over 35 years in my relationship. Most of my clients tend to be introverted, and so just to kind of put that on the table.
I had no idea.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. But it's interesting. A lot of the reporters I talk to, and the interviewers like yourself, I know are that way. So the question is, as you were saying, was
Yes. What inspires you
what inspires me?
as
Oh
a
gosh,
business leader right now?
so many things. I think that people are our greatest asset, and when I see people who have tremendous talent stepping up and being able to utilize that talent and being recognized by their team members, just because they make some small changes that lead to big results, that inspires me. And I think you and I were talking also as a woman business leader. I cannot be more thrilled to watch my daughters make strides and the young women coming up to see no barriers at all in their way. And I think that really inspires me and will continue as I continue to do this work that I love so much.
Well, thank you, Jennifer, for joining us.
My pleasure.
And stay tuned for more great interviews live from SHRM with Monster and Smart Brief.